Hey gang, Aaron Fisher here to share with you one of the most powerful, simple card tricks that I've ever learned to do, and I'm going to show you how to do it right now. It uses this deck of cards, and if you were here, I would have you literally say stop on any one of these cards. You could stop on the 5 of diamonds, you could stop on the ace of spades, you could stop on the 6 of spades, you could stop with the 10 of spades. We could do this all day long, but just for the sake of argument, we'll assume that you say stop on the queen of spades. But we won't just stop there. We'll actually use another spectator to help us select a card in an even different way. Here, I'll take the joker. This is kind of a good metaphor for me here. I'll be the joker in the deck. You say stop anytime at all, I'll say to the second spectator. She says stop here. Now she has a choice of 2 cards. She can stop on the 6 or the 9, and I would ask which you would prefer. And just for the sake of argument, we'll say that you say the 6, although again, it really doesn't matter. Here is where the magic starts. If I just take one of your cards, and I rub it first on this blue pad, and then against this card, that card changes color, right? We'll try it again with your other freely selected card. I'll just rub it across that red card like so, and it changes literally into a blue card. Now here's the fun part. If I just use the power of magic, watch carefully. I can get even better reactions because now I've changed this one to blue, this one to blue, this one to blue, and in fact each and every card in the entire deck has changed color until the entire deck is blue, of course except for the joker. That's the magic card. His job is to change everybody else. But since we're all friends here and it feels better if we're all having the same experience, I'll change that one too, which leaves the entire deck completely blue. Now that trick is called the Vernon color changing deck routine. Now for those of you who've never heard of Vernon, Vernon was known as the professor, and he was the person who during the last century really popularized and to some degree perfected the art of modern close-up magic. And he was known for something called the Vernon touch, which was his way of synthesizing just the right amount of sleight of hand with the overall routine and structure and the effect itself to create miracles well out of proportion to the amount of skill required to create those miracles. And now you, as a person who's interested in learning how to do great card tricks, can share in some of that bounty that is the Vernon touch in a trick just like this. So I'm going to show you how to do it in detail. It's very, very easy and very, very quick to do. And all you need to do is take a deck of one color. We'll say we have a blue deck in this case, and in that blue deck there should be a joker, right? There's the joker. And you want to take another joker that matches from a red deck, and you want to place that joker on top, right? And you take the blue joker that matches and you place it about 10 cards down in the pack. You take those cards and you place them inside a red card case, assuming you want to open with this trick, which as you become more and more of a confident professional magician, you'll probably want to open with other tricks where the audience gets to shuffle the cards and handle the cards and create this level of belief that the cards are all the same color, and then sort of spring this trick on them at the end so they really won't see it coming, and that can make it even stronger. But you can open with this trick, as you've just seen, just by taking these cards, placing them inside the card case. Now, if it was me, I would take the cards and place them backside up so that when I open the card case, I'm looking at the flap side opening and I see the red backs coming right out. It's just a very small detail, but when you do magic for a living, as I have for the last 20 years, you learn that keeping in mind these small little details are what saves you from having unfortunate thoughts in the middle of the show, like, did I remember to put those cards in the right way? Are those cards properly set up? Did I make a mistake? Am I going to embarrass myself in front of all these people? You don't want to have those thoughts. And so to keep yourself from having those thoughts, you make sure that the stranger card, that's what another card from another deck is, a different colored card from a similar face deck is called a stranger card, and that goes on top. 10 cards down goes the matching card, and then the rest of the blue deck. You place those inside the card case, and you are ready to go. Open the card case, pull out the deck, making sure that you don't flash any of the blue cards. Now, this is an overarching theme you're going to discover in card magic, especially now that I'm showing you how to do these simple tricks you can do with any deck, anywhere, and really no real skill, right? There's no real sleight of hand in this trick, but that doesn't mean there aren't things that you have to do very carefully to make sure that you have a great success as you perform the trick. And one of them is just simply making sure that you don't flash any of these blue cards. Flashing is another magic term that means having people see something that was really part of the secret, right? So you don't want to flash. And so what I do is I take my thumb right here and I pinch and I slide the deck a bit out, maybe about 1.5 inches. Then I shift my grip while I'm still holding from the sides here to my thumb and second finger so that I can, now with my first finger at the edge, I can pull the whole deck out and be safe and secure in the knowledge that these cards are not going to flash. Let the cards fall down to my dealing position like this with my left thumb on the left side, my little fingertips pointing right up above the edge, my first finger in the front, and the deck sort of casually held like a hammock in my left hand. And for those of you who've studied magic with me or you wish to learn all the other amazing card tricks I can show you and all the techniques required to make them work, this is an important grip. This is how we always hold the cards so there's not too much pressure on them, and anything that we do, any sort of pressure positions we need to apply to the deck are going on top of a neutral canvas, So we take the entire deck from this position, we turn the deck over, face up, again making sure not to flash, and we retake the deck in position for what is referred to as the Hindu shuffle. Now the Hindu shuffle looks like this. All I do is I swivel the deck just a little bit away from the base of my thumb, just a little bit. It's my thumb and my second finger pivoting. Notice how my pinky's underneath helping. Pivoting away so that I can take the deck with my thumb and my second finger at the back edge and my third finger right at the back edge. Now with my thumb and my second finger, I pull off a small packet of cards. And this is where Vernon's genius starts, because he points to each card. He says, you could pick this card. And then he does it again. Or you could select this card. Some people select the Queen of Diamonds, some the Queen of Clubs. Now you notice he seems to be going on all day, and it doesn't matter how small the packets are. You could pick the 7 of Clubs or the 4 of Clubs. Eventually the audience gets bored of this situation, but during this time what you're actually doing is, without protesting too much, without drawing too much attention to yourself, you're showing, hey, red card. And you could pick this one, but they also see the red card. Or you could pick this one, and they also see the red card. And so whenever they want, they say stop. They don't realize that they've been shown red cards over and over and over again. And yet, there is a belief instilled in the audience that just gets stronger and stronger that all the cards are, in fact, as they appear to be, red, right? As you drop these cards back on top, I leave them slightly back jogged. Slightly back jogged. Don't flash, but I leave them slightly back jogged. And as I square up, I lift with my left thumb. Everything else goes into dealing position, and I let one card, and one card only, fall off of my thumb. Don't make that riffling sound, just let one fall off your thumb. And that should bring that joker right to the top of the deck. Alternatively, if you prefer, you've gone through several times. Eventually, the audience says stop, and you put their card on the table. You could drop these on top, and you can say, and we'll use an interesting card for the next version, right? You can say, we'll use an interesting card for the next version. Come to the joker, and pull out the joker, say, we'll use the joker. Now, riffle down very slowly until they say stop, and stick that joker inside. Now, they have 2 more choices. They can choose the one above or below the joker, as you prefer. If you say the jack, that's fine. I place the jack on the table and I stick the red card underneath the face card of the deck and leave it out jogged. I don't leave it out jogged so far I can't reach it. It's just out jogged enough that my first finger, if I wanted, could push, right? If, however, you say that you want the lower card, that's even perfect for me. I just place that one right down, I bring these back, and I am all ready to go. Very important picture, okay? Because you've got the red card in plain view, you've got the card case in plain view. Everything feels as though the entire deck is red, right? Now, You take this card, you slowly rub it, and this is the thing that I have the most trouble getting new students to understand. It's not just the method. That's not what makes the magic. What makes the magic is this moment where, after rubbing that card, you take a moment and you imagine that you actually have the power to do the thing that you say you're going to do, and that it is your action, your magic, that changes that card to blue. It's not only important from the standpoint of the effect, it's also important from the standpoint of the method. The way you do this is what makes people believe that it actually happened. It gives them a reason not to backtrack to what mechanical things you may have done to bring this about, right? So before anyone has a chance to even get into it or dissect it, you pick up the other selection and say, well, try it again, watch. And really do your very best, using whatever magical gestures you can come up with, to change that second one to blue. Now everyone's going to be very, very shocked. You just press that red card into the deck. Now it's second from the face, but no one knows that or cares about it or even thinks about it. And now comes the very big moment. This is where you actually use magic and a lot of intention. Because in that one moment, you have changed that card to blue, and 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 each and every card in the entire deck, except of course for the Joker that you come to, has changed entirely to blue. Now, there's a couple things here that you want to keep in mind. Again, self-working trick, right? But that doesn't mean that there's nothing for you to practice and nothing for you to do. If you can only spread the cards this way, that's not going to create much of an effect. In my Pathways to Mastery series, Volume 2, I go into great detail about exactly how one learns how to spread the cards so that the cards really show. So that you could spread the cards and say, you could snap your fingers, and with that kind of technique, you could snap the entire deck into one blue display, which would be very, very striking. Or in my case, I like to show one card has changed, and then another card has changed, and then another card, and then I like to start to unroll them. And of course, everyone else their excitement is rolling. It's getting greater and greater as you go, because look, now they're blue, and they're blue, and they're blue, and oh my God, they're all blue. And of course, as you get to the very back, you're gonna have that one little block you need to hide, that one little moment there with that red card. And so at this point, you got to remember, everyone's attention's going down. At this point, bam, once you get to here, everyone goes, whoa, that's amazing. Isn't that amazing? That is so amazing. And they're looking at each other. They're having an experience with each other. And as that happens, you get down to the end and you take your thumb and you press right on that bottom card and you do what's called a block push-off, but a very simple one. Just to push off the last few cards, just to drag out that bottom card and complete the picture, which of course you can do. Right? When you place that card back, just stick it right there, a little bit up, so you've still got that technically on the bottom, and everyone's amazed. Now, what makes this trick really perfect is this wonderful ending Vernon has, because everyone is so amazed that the fact that all the cards have turned blue, it makes perfect sense for them that that one card, that Joker, hasn't. So just to end the trick, you take out that last Joker, you rub it across the table, you do some magic, and then that changes too. And that really does end the miracle. It satisfies the audience. It leaves everybody with a sort of happily ever after kind of feeling, which is priceless and creates for a wonderful, wonderful miracle. Right? Now, when you do magic like that, when you do magic that's strong, there is no reason for anyone to want to see the cards afterwards, especially if you've progressed a little bit and you've done this at the end of a series of effects, right? If the cards have already been shuffled, if people have already seen a few tricks, there's no reason for these cards to want to be examined at the end of the trick. And so for that reason, when I most often use it as a professional, there's no reason anyone's trying to examine the cards at the end of the trick. They've already had a chance to examine the cards at the beginning of the trick. So one of the nice added bonuses to this particular method and this particular approach is that after everyone's amazed, they're taking a moment, they're relaxing, they're enjoying themselves, all you do is riffle down about 10 cards, stick that Joker in, lift up, get a break right there above that bottom card, and then move the deck forward and turn it over. just like that on top. I don't recommend you do that under a lot of heavy cover with the current instruction you have. We go over in a lot of detail how to do that secretly in the middle of the trick and make sure that it's part of the method and no one will ever see you do it. And we do that in the Pathways to Mastery on reversals. But in this case, all you are doing literally is a cleanup. Everyone's amazed. You're taking the deck, you're turning it face up, you're dropping it in your pocket. Now, depending on what your trick is and what trick you're going to do this after, whether it's my trick Panic or any one of 1,000 other tricks, you can pull out a red deck anytime and go right back into the exact same trick. It's ready to go just like that. Or if you want, you can place the cards in the case and do it as an opener as it's described by Vernon. So that's Vernon's color-changing deck routine. It's one of the finest tricks I've ever come across, and I really do hope you enjoy it. So if you want help making this or any of your magic sparkle so that you really just love the results when you perform it, come by AaronFisherMagic.com and discover how magicians all over the world are finding out that lessons with a qualified, compassionate, caring teacher can get you further, faster, and have more fun along the way as you develop into the magician that you really want to be. My name's Aaron. You can email me at aaron@aaronfishermagic.com, and I will see you really soon.